So Novak Djokovic was superb, stellar, amazing, extraordinary versus his countryman Miomir Kekmanovic today at Wimbledon, third round, 6-3, 6-love, 6-4. And he's probably really mad at himself over the last two games because he should have won the last set 6-2. He got broken and then allowed him to get a love hold in the next game. Maybe a little bit of complacency, maybe just trying some things, whatever it is. It seems like Djokovic kind of has an issue sometimes, even though he's won Wimbledon seven times, sometimes has an issue with the center court crowd. And maybe sometimes the center court crowd either gets to him or he starts fighting with them. We remember just last year, he was saying, to the guy saying Runa when he was playing Holger Rune, have a good night. He was really trying to get at them. And sometimes he has an issue with them. And they were starting to be especially loud towards the end of the match because they wanted to see it longer because it lasted less than 2 hours. But anyway, Novak Djokovic was amazing. 71% on his first serve. He served brilliantly today. I saw at one point his serving quality was at like a 93%, when on average it's like a 79% or something like that. So his serving was phenomenal. 16 aces. He did have 3 double faults. Kind of just lost focus sometimes, but it's no big deal. 16 aces. 82% win percentage on first serves. He got a lot of his first serves in, and his second serves weren't that much worse than his first were. 71% on those. And he broke Kekmanovic 6 times. 6 times that he broke him, and he did a very good job at returning some backhand, some forehand returns, some ace returns as well, some winners where you're just like, how did you do that? You're just a little bit confused, but that is the greatest returner ever, and he's just going to pull out some little piece of magic that you never really see. But Kekmanovic, he didn't necessarily play poorly, except for the second set where he was really bad, but Djokovic was just amazing. That second set was as good of tennis as I've seen Novak Djokovic play this year. And he had one rally in the game when he broke him in the first set. The game when he broke him in the first set that made it 5-3 before he closed out the first set, where they played a phenomenal rally, like a 20-plus shot rally where they were diving all over the court and everything. It was fantastic. I was like, whoo, that is Wimbledon at its finest, and that's Novak at its finest. And he just made light work of Kekmanovic. He didn't really have many issues, like I said, other than those last 2 games. Those are really more of a blip, but Novak will be annoyed at himself for not finishing out quicker because he is a perfectionist, and you have to be a perfectionist to be as high quality as he has been for so long on this stage. But Novak, I mean, the serving ability is phenomenal. The drop shots, some of the angles on some of the drop shots were like, oh my goodness. The backhand was working really well. Nothing was really working poorly. In the first, I think, 14 games, I heard the announcer saying Djokovic had like 7 unforced errors, like some crazy stats where you're like, how do you do that? Just pinpoint perfection. Maybe the weather in London helped today. It wasn't as warm. It was like, I think low 70s. So like maybe, 22, 23-ish. So it was much easier for the players, and much lighter, like, not as hard and heavy as and impactful as especially the first 2 days of Wimbledon were, where they were just, oh my God, you know what I mean? Oh my God, hot from all the players that they said. But yeah, Djokovic will face de Minaur in the 4th round. If I'm not mistaken, de Minaur pulled out of Wimbledon last year when he was supposed to play Djokovic in the quarterfinals, and then Novak got like 4 days of rest. That probably helped him to win the semifinal matchup that he had against Lorenzo Musetti, I believe. But de Minaur, 11th ranked player in the world, this will be a very good match. This will be his first true test of Wimbledon. The first 3 matches, we just knew Djokovic was going to make light work of those guys. Alexander Muller did a good job of winning 1 set, but de Minaur will be his first true set. Obviously, you still favor Djokovic to win, but de Minaur will give him a run for his money because he's a very good player, and he does, some very good things out on the court. He's a very fast guy, and I really like his game for sure. But yeah, Novak just goating again. Today was his 100th match win at Wimbledon, and obviously at the end of every press conference, he talks about how special Wimbledon is for him. And with a guy like Novak, you're always wondering if he's hinting at retirement. He hinted at retirement at the end of Roland Garros, said, if this is the last time I play here at Roland Garros. And he was making clear that, look, I don't know how much longer I'll keep playing. I don't know. My form has clearly dropped. I've had injury issues. Maybe it's okay if I just end it here. But he talks every single tournament about how special Wimbledon is to him, and I absolutely believe that it is. But it's clearly showing that maybe are we reaching a point when Djokovic will be okay to retire? He desperately wants another slam, no question about it. And he would even admit that himself. But is he okay to retire? We don't know. And so that's why you have to savor. Savor every moment that you get to watch the greatest player of all time continue to play tennis. And yeah, and Kekmanovic was not only a countryman of him, a younger player who clearly looked up to Novak when he was growing up and during his youth ranks in tennis, and a Davis Cup teammate, and somebody who's been on his side. I forget his name, but the guy who was coaching Kekmanovic was also Novak's coach for many years. And I remember him. I'm like, oh my God, he's there. He was in Novak's box for a long period of time. That's one criticism that I still have with Novak. I don't know why after 2023, when he had one of the greatest tennis seasons ever and one of his best personally, one of his four best personally, he got rid of his entire coaching staff and brought in a bunch of new guys. And you're like, what's going on? And then he went back later on to Marion Vider and everyone else after the whole Andy Murray experiment at the beginning of this year. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day because Novak is going to find a way to win. And like I said, Alcaraz and Sinner, many of those guys have just picked up their game, so they're just better now. I don't think it's entirely about the coaches. It's about them two being better, along with injuries as well for Novak, and potentially just aging over time. Maybe he's not the same player that he once was, and that's totally okay because he's had maybe the greatest longevity of any of the great tennis players, up there with Federer. And you may even argue that his was higher than Federer because 2023, when Novak was 36, that was one of the greatest seasons in tennis history. But yeah, anyway, let's not marvel at the history of Novak. Let's focus on the present. Let's focus on his Monday matchup against De Minaur, which will be a very entertaining match. I'll be watching that for sure. And let's see if Novak can add number 25 for the greatest player of all time.